Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers Lore. Today we are going to talk about none other than General Venjix. Wait a second, Venjix? Didn't I already talk about him in another video? Well, actually, no. So there's two. There's the computer virus Venjix, and there's General Venjix from the Machine Empire Remnants. Now, I didn't know that this general was named Venjix, because I really didn't pay attention to the name. I just recognized him as a Big Bad Beetleborg. So it was very interesting for me to catch up that the names are exactly the same and spelled the same. But how that's basically been said the entire time, there is the computer virus Venjix, who later becomes Evox, and then there's General Venjix, as we have here. So let's go on. Who is this mysterious figure, and why is he only mentioned once? Well, he is the last leader of the remnants of the Machine Empire that showed up in the Zeo series. He would show up much later in Wild Force in the special Forever Red, and would be the main antagonist of this 10th anniversary episode. Now, he would have an interesting plan. He would somehow know where Serpentera was buried, which we don't know why Serpentera was buried in the first place, or why it wasn't destroyed when Lord Zed basically was turned back human and the rest of them. But it is a Zord, so it probably was basically just left there. At some point, it was speculated that in fan theory that it was buried on the moon because of another attack between Zeo and Turbo, that they had attacked the planet, and it was eventually broken so much that they had to bury it and leave it there, and that's the last time they left, fleeing off to another galaxy. Well, this is what happens with it. Venjix would not be destroyed by the colossal wave of good energy after destroying it. After basically Andros kills Zordon, and he unleashes the wave of energy that purifies all evil in the universe up to a certain point. It basically turns the Machine Empire to dust. However, Venjix is probably exiled or on the other end of the Empire, along with a lot like Scorpius and the others would survive, and he would come back and swear vengeance against them. He and several other generals and cogs would come back and try to learn of King Mondo's destruction and destroy basically Earth. Now, they would basically find out that Serpentera is buried there, know that it is the ultimate weapon, and know how to effectively power it better. They would start digging it up. Andros would be spying on them the entire time. He's been watching them for years, going, what the heck's going on here? And would gather the other Red Rangers of the last series, including Alien. And they would all storm the base and fight off the cogs. Now, it's very interesting. I don't know why they only chose Red Rangers, besides it's just Red Ranger Special, but they said they only need 10 Rangers to take this on, which you only need 2 teams. But it's not explained how the other Rangers got their powers back, because a lot of them lost them through other means. And basically, it was also the bring back of Tommy, as well as Jason from the original series as well. Now, when they would show up, it'd be too late. Venjix has already powered Serpentera with the new plutonium reactor. When he and the other Joes attempt to board it, however, they're stopped by Cole Evans and the other Rangers, which basically Cole Evans is made to be the big hero of the series because it's Wild Force, and he faced off against basically Jason Lee Scott, who is the original Red Ranger, and as well as Cole. Now, he would hold his own. He would not use any other weapons besides his mightiest weapon of them all, his fists. Yes, his arsenal as a robot, instead of guns and blasters and other types of things, is his fists. Now, he has large blades at the ends of his fists, but he doesn't use them. They're kind of more decorative, I guess. Now, Venjix would hold them off and basically escape aboard the Serpentera and fly off to attempt to destroy Earth. But before he could leave the Earth, Cole Evans, using his Wild Force Rider, goes down the gullet of Serpentera, destroying Venjix, as well as destroying it all from the inside out, causing a massive explosion and forever putting the end to Serpentera. Now, it's a good little drawback. Where did Serpentera go the entire time? It was a good episode overall, but there's a lot of interesting issues with this. Where was he? Besides what I said, he's probably on the fringes of the Empire. It's a really vast thing. And the wave only went so far. We know that. Or it would have destroyed Scorpius. And the other ones, evils out there. Now, he has a lot of interesting superpowers. He's super strength. He's super durable. He has super jump. So, and he's an expert fighter. He has lightning blast. Now he does have lightning blast from his left hand, but he barely uses them in the fights, and he can use other beams from his right hands, but he mainly uses his close combat. Now he's an expert Zord pilot, which doesn't mean anything as a machine. He can learn any of those skills pretty easily just by downloading them. He also, unlike the other generals, he would fight with his bare hands and was able to overpower the Rangers themselves. Even Cole, who basically was raised by gorillas. Or apes, sorry. Now, he also had the weapon of Serpentera. How he knew exactly where it was at, I don't know, but he could have used scanning technology and figured it out. Now, that is it. Besides the ideal thing, he is a clone copy of the Shadow Borg. If you don't know what the Shadow Borg or Shadow Big Bad Beetle Borg, he is from the Big Bad Beetle Borg series. He was a dark version of them who was basically sent to fight them. There is his counterpart was, I think it was the white Big Bad Beetle Borg, and it's pretty interesting why they use him. He had Sabin own both rights, so why not? If they want to use Machine, he's the perfect candidate, and they have to make up a new costume. So it was all a special episode to get all the things and cause the ratings to rise. So it was a good little thing. I wish there was more and he was a bigger threat, like this was a two-parter episode, but it wasn't. I also have a problem with the episode where they're all bragging about the ends of like what their big accomplishments more are the entire time, and Andrews goes like, "Well, I killed Zordon," and everyone should have like just paused and go like, "Is that a thing you should brag about?" I really think that should have been a thing, but hey, what do I know? Now, what do you guys think? Do you guys like General Venjix? Do you think he was up to the hype of the series, this crossover? Now, mind you, this is the first big crossover. We've had little crossovers through like later generations of Rangers, such as through In Space and Turbo would be the first major one. Basically, Justin being brought back, and then Lost Galaxy, and as well as Lost Galaxy and Space, and then also Lost Galaxy and Wild Force here. No, and Time Force. Yeah, it gets complicated. So, I don't know what to think about there, but this is the first with all the Red Rangers, bringing back Tommy for the first time since his departure in Turbo. Now, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what you want to see for later on this week or any other episodes, and I'll be here waiting for you guys. Thank you very much. You guys have a good one. May the power protect you always.